Why do equally talented professionals and qualified professionals often create different career outcomes? More specifically, how do subconscious beliefs influence the decisions, behaviors, and interpersonal interactions that shape professional opportunities? Traditional career advice emphasizes resume writing, networking, interview preparation, and technical competence, which are all important. However, while these factors are important, they raise another question. What internal processes influence whether individuals consistently recognize, pursue, and capitalize on career opportunities? By the end of this particular presentation, you'll understand how subconscious beliefs influence attention, decision making, emotional responses, behavioral patterns, and self perception, and why these processes can shape career trajectories over time. You'll also understand why changing external strategies without addressing underlying subconscious patterns often produces inconsistent results. Every day, the human brain processes an extraordinary amount of information. Most of that information never reaches conscious awareness. Instead, the brain continuously filters, prioritizes, and interprets incoming information. These filtering processes influence a variety of things. And that is why today we're going to be exploring the subconscious mind and career opportunities. Specifically, understanding how the subconscious mind shapes the opportunities that we naturally look out for and that we naturally attract. So, going back to the filtering processes. So, instead, the brain continuously filters, prioritizes, and interprets incoming information. These filtering processes influence what we notice, what we ignore, what we believe is possible, the opportunities we pursue, the risks we avoid, the conversations we initiate, and the standards we accept. So, for this reason, career outcomes are influenced not only by technical ability, but also by the subconscious frameworks through which professional experiences are interpreted. Understanding these frameworks provides another perspective on why two equally capable professionals may build very different careers. So, let's explore how we can define the subconscious mind. So, for the purpose of this particular presentation, the subconscious mind refers to mental processes that operate outside of the conscious awareness while influencing perception, emotion, decision making habits, and behavior. Now, these processes develop through repeated experiences, learning, and memory. Although individuals are not consciously aware of many subconscious processes, they often influence behavior in consistent ways. For example, for the research spotlight, we have Daniel Kahneman. Daniel Kahneman's work on dual process theory distinguishes between two models or modes of thinking, and we have confined them into two systems. So, system one operates rapidly, automatically, and within little conscious effort. Then we have system two, which operates more deliberately and analytically. Many daily decisions begin with an automatic processing before conscious reasoning becomes involved. This explains why familiar patterns of behavior often occur with minimal conscious deliberation. Now, looking at the research around self advocacy by Albert Bandura, In his particular research, Bandura's research on self advocacy demonstrated that beliefs regarding one's capability influence behavior. Individuals with stronger self advocacy are generally more likely to pursue challenging opportunities, persist following setbacks, recover from failure, and interpret obstacles as manageable. Self advocacy does not guarantee success. However, it consistently influences the behaviors associated with achievement. So, although your perception of your ability to accomplish a goal may not directly influence your ability to accomplish the goal, it does influence your behaviors, which ultimately creates the habits that will lead you to accomplishing said goal. Now, we're going to look at Victor Vroom's expectancy theory. So, Victor Vroom's expectancy theory proposes that motivation is influenced by three beliefs: expectancy, which is can I succeed? Instrumentality, which is will my effort lead to results? And balance, do I value the outcome? When individuals subconsciously expect success to be unlikely, motivation and behavior often change accordingly. So essentially, our belief or our expectancy in our ability to be successful with a particular goal directly influences how motivated we are and the actual behaviors that we take in order to accomplish said goal in our careers. So, this is very important because if we can get our subconscious mind in alignment with the belief that we can accomplish a goal, that will automatically impact our ability to feel positive about taking the or taking the or making the behaviors or exemplifying the behaviors that will allow us to accomplish the goal. So, in essence, if we can train our subconscious mind to believe that what we want is obtainable to us, it will help us to automatically take the steps necessary to accomplish the goal. That leads us to our research spotlight number 4, which is the reticular activating system, or the RAS. So the RAS is a network within the brain stem involved in regulating attention and filtering sensory information. Because the brain cannot consciously process every stimulus, the RAS helps prioritize information that appears relevant. This does not mean that the RAS manifests opportunities. Rather, it influences what opportunities you notice, remember, and act upon. Now, this is very important because when it comes to the reticular activating system, and when it comes to our conscious mind and our subconscious mind, and let me define them just in case. So, with the conscious mind, that is the mind that we operate within our day to day. It's the mind that has conversations with people. It's the mind that we define as ourselves. Our subconscious mind is the mind that runs in the background, and it essentially is responsible for all of our automatic habits. Your heart beating, your eye blinking, um, just um, the natural behaviors that the body does on a daily basis without even having to think about it. Now, with the RAS, because it is the filter that the subconscious mind leverages in order to filter your reality so that your conscious mind can pick up on the things that you deem important. Now, the reason why this is so important is because everything that we want or everything that we need in order to accomplish a goal or career goal is already around us. Already, if you want to increase your income, if you want to obtain a specific type of role, if you want to get better at the way that you present yourself, all of that information already exists. We have loads of information. We have loads of courses. AI tools that help us to understand the habits that are necessary in order to fulfill those particular goals or fulfill those particular desires. However, if our reticular activating system is not filtered in the right way, even if those opportunities are all around us, we literally cannot see them. They're literally invisible to us because that's not what we're focused on. So that's why it's very important for us to get our reticular activating system on board whenever we want to accomplish a goal. And when we can get our reticular activating system on board, it will automatically find the people, the resources, the opportunities that already exist to get us to our goal. Because if someone else has what you want, there's no reason why you can't have it. If someone has a particular role, a particular income level that you desire, there is no reason why you cannot have that. The only reason why you don't have that is because you have not aligned your identity and you have not recalibrated your reticular activating system in order to act in alignment with getting you to that particular goal, which is specifically the work that I help my clients with in my 8-week transformational program, The Confidence Frequency, where I teach my clients how to up-level their identity, how to recode their belief systems, and how to regulate their nervous systems so that they naturally become the type of women or the type of people that will naturally have the career opportunities, the income levels that they desire, because they have aligned their identity and their reticular activating system with the particular goal that they desire. Now, going back to the reticular activating system, again, what it does. So with the reticular activating system, because the brain cannot consciously process every stimulus in the environment, the RAS helps prioritize information that appears relevant. Your existing goals, expectations, and beliefs influence what the brain treats as important. This does not mean the RAS, again, manifests opportunities. Rather, it influences what opportunities you notice, remember, and act upon. So connecting the research to career opportunities. Career opportunities are influenced by external factors, such as organizational needs, economic conditions, timing, and professional networks. They are also influenced by internal processes. The subconscious beliefs affect multiple things, whether individuals apply for leadership roles, how they communicate their value, the boundaries they establish, their willingness to negotiate, their persistence after rejection, the environments they perceive as accessible, and the opportunities that they recognize. Over time, these repeated behaviors contribute to different professional outcomes. And this brings us to the confidence frequency perspective. So, within the confidence frequency, subconscious programming is viewed as one component of a broader leadership system. Subconscious beliefs influence perception and behavior. However, they do not operate independently, they interact continuously with nervous system regulation, belief recoding, and identity recalibration. So, when these systems become aligned, professionals are often better positioned to recognize opportunities, communicate their value, pursue executive leadership roles, and remain consistent in the face of uncertainty. The objective is not to think positively. The objective is to create internal systems that consistently support executive level decision making and behavior. So let's examine the key takeaways. Much of human decision making occurs outside of our conscious awareness. So this means that a lot of the decisions that we have already made, that we make, are already determined. What are they determined by? Our subconscious mind and our reticular activating system, and what we have filtered our reticular activating system to deem as important to bring to our conscious mind. And in fact, 95% of the habits and the thoughts that we have on a daily basis are already predetermined by our programming that sits within the subconscious mind. So, subconscious beliefs influence perception, behavior, and professional choices. Self advocacy affects persistence, resilience, and willingness to pursue opportunity. The reticular activating system influences what information receives attention. Career outcomes are shaped by both external circumstances and internal patterns. Sustainable career growth often requires aligning nervous system regulation, beliefs, and identity, not simply changing external strategies. Again, I will repeat this. If we have not changed how we see ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, and what we have deliberately programmed ourselves to see within our reality, it does not matter what external strategies we take. It doesn't matter how much training we get on communication or how much training we get on um, interview skills or how much training we get on the actual technical skills that are so relevant when it comes to being a scrum master, being a delivery leader, being a program manager or project manager. If we have not reprogrammed our identities to see ourselves as that person, we're going to have little to no traction when it comes to getting those opportunities, because recruiters literally cannot see us, and we literally cannot see the recruiters because the recruiters, because we are literally not on the same frequency. So the key to getting the executive facing positions that we desire is to first do the internal work to regulate our nervous systems, recode our belief systems, and recalibrate our identities. So, as a closing reflection, career opportunities rarely depend on competence alone. They are influenced by how individuals perceive themselves, interpret their environment, and respond to possibility. Understanding the subconscious mind shifts the question from, why haven't I received the opportunity? To, what internal patterns may be influencing how I recognize, pursue, and respond to opportunities? At the Confidence Frequency, we help women in technology leadership identify and recalibrate the internal systems that influence executive level performance and career growth through nervous system regulation, belief recoding, and identity recalibration. If you're ready to build a career that reflects your true capability, not just your current conditioning, I invite you to apply for a confidence frequency strategy session. You can find the link below in the description or in my bio.